Father, we just humbly come to you at this time just to honor you and to praise you. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to live in Wayne County, and we thank you for the Wayne County school system and all the people that make it what it is, Lord. Father, as we begin to conduct your business here at the Wayne County Board of Education, I just ask that all of our decisions, not only in tonight, but in our daily lives, would be pleasing unto you. For we ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Move in second.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Pittman?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a motion to approve the minutes from February 24th and 23rd meetings.
So move.
Second.
Move in second.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Pittman?
Yes, ma'am.
Items of business.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, board members, the chief of police, Dr. Slump, has approached us about really just entering a partnership in supporting their efforts in the city of Scriven. They want to partner with Blue Line Solutions, with speed enforcement. And long story short, I've sent you the information. It's just a automated speed monitoring system where it's got now cameras and technology today where it actually hones in on the actual license plate. So if somebody's speed, it actually takes a picture of that, goes through the process, and gives them writes them a citation. Nothing for us to do. That costs us anything. It's not for us to manage. We don't have any input or management of the system. Anything goes on with that, that's law enforcement in this company. But they will be monitoring our school zones. I certainly recommend we consider partnership. I mean, we have to be on board for them to use it in the school zones. So that's the reason for it. I'll write a letter to Chief Sloan and as well as the Department of Transportation. They have to be on board and have to support this endeavor as well. And this is something that this company does. I guess the citation is kind of a partnership with the city. Again, it's not meant to be a speed trap. That's the reason I'm bringing it to you. Or try to generate money. Is try to protect people in the city of Scriven, especially around our school zones where we don't have as many law enforcement officers in the small city. But I do need action to support it, and I can take care of the details. What they'll do is they'll do a big media campaign, make sure everybody knows, and we'll support that as well. It'll be my recommendation from the school system to let everybody know what's going on where speed around schools or around the city of Scriven. There's going to be a citation in the building. Any questions for me?
Do you need a motion that we?
I do need action, yes, sir. Y'all are ready.
I'll make a motion, we support the speed enforcement system for Scriven.
I'll second that motion.
Move in second.
Mr. Ellis?
I'm going to abstain.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Pittman?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I sent this information to you as well, but Ms. Denny in our Sex Education Advisory Committee met last week maybe. And it's just time to update our curriculum. Our fifth grade human development curriculum. Ms. Denny is very intentional, very thoughtful about what's being presented to our students, especially in that area at that grade level. But she went through the process. She got that material, put it to the committee, and they are making a recommendation to the board, which is required before we can put this in place. That would be next school year, Ms. Denny?
Actually, in May.
In May. Right, so it is again this school year, so we take care of it in May, but it does need action. And then I got one other thing too on this same topic. Any questions about that? I appreciate Mr. Harris and anybody else attend? Okay.
Ms. Denny.
Okay. Appreciate you serving on that board. For attending me.
Make the motion, we accept the committee's recommendation.
Second.
I don't know. I thought we did.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
to adopt the new fifth grade human development curriculum, which is called the puberty workshop.
So you need a motion?
Yes. according
Yes,
to-
we do need action.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I make a motion that we accept the, PBD workshop, recommendations as cited by the committee.
Move in second.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ricky?
Yes, ma'am.
One other note on that same topic, just want to make you aware that, we do have appointees. You have appointees as board members on this committee. I'll send you this email. There's a couple of appointees that want to remain. But there are several that need to be secured by, pretty much every board member, but I'll send you this where you'll have it on how many people. Some of them are at large, but they need to come from your district. And we need to have this in place no later than July 1st of 2021. So as soon as we can get this, the better. Just to let you know, Mr. Ellis, Jennifer Shaver is still willing to serve, as is Emily Nolan, Mr. Harris, and Amon Johnson, Ms. Daniels.
Mhm.
Those are ready, still willing to serve. But I'll send you the numbers and who else, who needs to secure a couple people. All right? Yeah, COVID-19 update. Just want to kind of give you some numbers, and I'm gonna, Ms. Herring's gonna pull up that and this is the Georgia DPH website, but I want to kind of just give you some numbers. A long story short, over the last 14 days, average that they run, that's kind of what they, because the virus is, for most people, is gone after 14 days unless they have a severe reaction to it. But that's the average they have. They keep up with. It's a very critical number. It's as low now as it's been in the last 12 months for Wayne County. Okay. I'm talking about as the county. Our school system, it didn't get much slower than this last week. And again, the week ended on Friday, so we've already had 4 more days. Last week that we keep up with, we cut it off. We only had 3 students positive and 0 staff members. If you want to turn around and look at the big screen, let me show you this real quick. This is a crude spreadsheet that I've just used since last March, really. But I can turn it on. This kind of orient you. This is the last 15 or 16 days. This is the case. This is the date. Again, last 15 or 16 days. These are the state cases for the state of Georgia. These are Wayne County cases. That's the total number. That's the running total. So I got 0 and I add 3 to about 25, 28. If I add 3, I end up at 25, 21. But that's how many new cases on the day. Last 16 days, you can see 0, 3, 7, 2, 3. Got a 0 here, a 1. Here is our hospitalizations. You see, they are been consistent. They're not adding. It's an increase. Ward out. Yeah, it is. Anyway, but you can kind of see there, Ms. Harry, you want to go back to, you see Tuesdays. I don't have that up there yet. Scroll up to, you're right, go down. And if you'll see, again, this is the daily website. If you hit it just right, you'll see the day's number. Oh, you got to go back to,
Wayne County.
yeah, click on Wayne County. Yeah, now go down to it. The day is March 9th, of course. I ain't doing right. Anyway, today we had 0 cases. Wow, what I'm trying to show you. So we got another 0. All that said, the trend's going where it should be going. So you see some of those. Go back up to the map. You see our surrounding counties. Looks like Liberty and maybe Bryan's a little higher. I don't know what the chart looks like, but really in the state of Georgia, things are trending down. Any questions? I talked to Wayne Memorial Administration at 3:30 this afternoon. They had 0 people at Wayne Memorial Hospital due to COVID-19 reasons. And we will begin vaccines tomorrow. Big thank you to Wayne Memorial Hospital, Joyride, special administration for organizing that. That stuff out there just is tremendous. They put this together for us, lickety split. They had the vaccines in hand. We'll start that at 8 o'clock. We have about, there's been a little movement with people that maybe signed up and didn't read the questions that maybe disqualifies them from getting it. But we're gonna be about 260, which I think is pretty good. Do the math on our employees, 260 or about 800. That's, closing on 40%. Keep in mind, a lot of folks met the criteria to go ahead and get it, either age-wise, and this is all of our staff, all 800 and some employees. Some of them were able to go ahead and get the vaccine before now, point, whether they're a caregiver, meet the age criteria or other criteria, but feel good about it. I think we pretty much confirmed it, but I'll hold off just announcing exactly when we'll be giving the second dose. There was an outside chance we may get the, I think Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It only requires 1 dose, so I didn't want to say exactly what we were doing, but we do have a plan to administer the second dose without following that. If one of the other vaccines shows up that it requires. All right. What did I leave out? Questions on that?
I know that I'm asking you to speculate, but let's say after we administer the second dose, what would you recommend, what would you believe our percentage of participants would be out of that 800?
No, it's going to stay the same after the second dose, because that 260, they got to get 2 doses.
Okay.
Okay. We're not going to have, this will be the only mass administration of the vaccine that will be.
It sounds to me we'd be lucky to get 50% of our staff to agree to be inoculated.
That's correct. Which is a little lower than I expected, but.
Now, some of them, like you say, have already
There's no
been,
way to tell how many already have.
Yeah.
We haven't done a survey, and that's some of that's a little personal. I don't know about asking that, to be honest.
yeah.
A lot of legality in some of that stuff. It's hadn't played itself out, so I'm cautious about really trying to dig in that. And I don't believe you're gonna be able to make it a requirement at this point.
Yeah, some of our surrounding counties, such as Long County, Glenn, and Liberty, have been doing it, and you were able to register online, and they had appointments as late as like 4:30. So some people opted to go early and take care of it
And of
that
course,
way.
the big mass vaccination site is over in our region, is over in Baxter now, and that's where our local health department personnel, they're working over there, I think, 3 days a week now, all day. They're not at the health department, they're at Baxter, that site, and that's just due to logistics for our overall region. It didn't have anything to do with Athens or geographically, that's the best.
Dr. Brinson, I want to thank you for coordinating and ensuring that our teachers had the opportunity
Yes.
to get the vaccine if they desired to have it. Yeah, I appreciate you doing
I didn't do a
that.
whole lot. The administration kind of rolled it out, but the hospital really need to thank those guys, because the whole trick was getting the vaccine and securing the vaccine. Of course, we don't get to do that.
Right.
They done a great job. Hopefully it goes smooth tomorrow and Thursday. We've got halved up, staggered throughout the day. Teachers and staff sitting down and doing more than, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe 30 at the top. Open screw, make it a little longer to drive. We got it planned out. It goes smooth.
Dr. Brinson, excuse me, did I hear you say about making it mandatory?
Yes, sir. I don't think that's gonna be something we're gonna be able to do. So I'm hesitant to even ask and do surveys and stuff, because that is some of that HIPAA, I don't think that.
Here's what I've heard from some of the younger families. They're concerned about the side effects down the road.
Understand?
And so they're considering holding off because of looking into their future plans as a family.
Understand.
I don't think we need to get into making it mandatory. That's just my own opinion.
I think, my stance is this needs to be a personal decision 100% all the way around, if you don't know. We've had some
Mhm.
bad things happen in the past, and there's no guarantee.
Yeah, I agree about not trying to make it mandatory. But if you're older, and this is my just personal opinion, everybody has their own thing. My decision to take it was, COVID or take my chance on this. And looking at the things with COVID, I made that decision to take my chance on the vaccine.
You know, 3 months ago, we had a discussion about COVID and this room was full. And
Mhm.
there was very heated debate on both sides about a certain percentage wanted to close school, and a certain percentage wanted to open it.
Right?
You know, I guess that, if we had a huge outbreak, God forbid we won't, with these variants and things, you know, we may have to revisit that question on, you know, whether we want our staff to be vaccinated or not. And I'm not saying that I'm in favor of it in any way, but I am in favor of making our children as safe as they can be. And who knows, you know, some of the doctors are worried about surges with these variants. So I would encourage people to take it, but I certainly understand the reservation that they wouldn't. And also, from my seat here on the board member, as a board member, is going to be one of the factors is going to be safety of our children. And I'm sure everybody, you know, if we had a problem, ever we don't, people would have to really look hard at this issue. More willing, we won't have to face it.
Well, in my opinion, the vaccine is certainly going to be a useful tool and help things, but I think this is something we're still going to be managing for months to come, and I don't think it's certainly going to help, but I think we still got a ways to go before we really get on with everything. So I think you're going to have to consider everything. I hope not, but we've been through this a year, and every time we have a downtime, spring break coming in 3 weeks, we kind of saw what happened with Thanksgiving. And that was just a week.
You know,
And if
one
you
thing.
keep going,
that-
then you got a summer to get through, so I think we need to make some plans.
I had an appointment with Dr. Hendricks today, and we talked about it very briefly. The subject herd immunity is coming up. So there's going to be some safety factor built into that once we reach that, whatever that goal is of percentage of people who have been affected or been vaccinated. So hopefully that herd immunity factor will also work in our favor on this issue.
Any other questions? All right, I want to open up discussion about the Southern Pines College and Career Academy that we're, that's moving down the road, and right now we are part of that. I still think we're over 2 years away from it materializing and actually having a facility where students can visit and be a part of. A lot of planning, a lot of logistics, and I was talking to Dr. Kelly just this afternoon briefly about a few points of what's going on with it. I mean, it's going to be very important that we have a strong voice on that about what's going on. I know the concern that I've heard from several of you about, we certainly don't want to pay for something that our kids are not getting anything out of. I agree with that 100%. But I do think that this is something that can serve our kids first, but our community as well, in building that workforce. I'll just remind you that workforce, I say workforce, it's a numbers thing. That's the reason the governor made this a line item and approved the grant money, that $3 million. It's kind of basically startup money to build a facility, get equipment in there and get it going, because the numbers just don't add up. And you just look at our unemployment rate, and then you go around and see how many jobs each of our big employers have open. You don't have enough bodies. And that doesn't account for folks that have other legal problems, maybe have some substance abuse issues, can't pass a test. So it dwindles down. So we need people from Long County and Glenn County and Apple County and Jeff Davis, maybe Bacon, people 30 minutes away where a commute is possible to grow Wayne County. If you don't, that's the biggest thing you hear from employers. And we've been studying this and working on this, I guess, 5 years now. That comes to the forefront every time Dale Keith and Industrial Development Authority has talked to people. And they're real finicky and hard to corner, but that's something that always comes up. If I bring my company in here, do you have the workers? You know, well, they look at the numbers, and you can't say, well, yes, this partnership is supposed to help everybody. The other part of this that I feel strongly about is that we have a very robust CTE program, and I know you know this, that most of our programs compete at the state and national level every year. We don't want to do anything that's going to take away from that, but the whole idea is to supplement it. We do have some programs or even some areas that we're not even offering, or we have low numbers in. We just want to kind of catch that up, and it works both ways. If somebody is in timber harvesting, we don't really have that around here like in Wayne County, but it's okay for, you know, some of our graduates to drive 30 minutes down the road to Pierce County or Appleton County and have a good paying job if they're trained and have that credential. So still a lot of work to do. Dr. Glenn Dyer retired from Coastal Pines, if you're not aware, in December. He was hired as the CEO. He's hit the ground running. Right now, it's all about planning, coordinating the building of the facility that's going to go right next to the Coastal Pines facility right there in Baxley. There's going to be a good marriage, a good partnership there. You know, I think we're really going to make our dollar go a long way. There's no cost to us yet. Will there be a cost to Wayne County? Yeah, there's going to be a cost to Wayne County down the road once we see how many of our kids are interested, willing, and how much we're able to support them getting there. So that's where we stand today. I was asked about the commitment. Yes, we've been committed to this for about a year and a half. Now, is there legally binding type things? No, we can walk away anytime we get ready. But, you know, I think you'd be wise to get all the information to consider. There's a lot of work to be done. Let me share this last part and I'll be quiet, is that we only have 11 voting members on that College Career Academy board, okay? And the superintendent of Wayne County, or all the superintendents involved, they're one of the voices on there. So Dr. Kelly will have that voice April 1st. You know, I went to my last meeting, they know he's on board, and, you know, and I'm sharing information. I got some more information to share with him to kind of get up to speed, but he'll be attending a board training with all of those board members and attending a board meeting next month. So that'll help him get up to speed. But y'all have plenty of time to discuss some things and decide. But, you know, I know there's questions. The answers, all of the answers are not going to be there. Again, you're over 2 years away, in my opinion. They're acting like possibly January of 23. I think it's going to be more like the fall of 23 in Jay's opinion. Before I'm not opening up, having buses. Questions for me?
I'm still a little uneasy about not having any projected numbers based for cost, you know, on our part, you know, down the road. You know, we're going to make this decision on this facility or on this curriculum, and we still don't know how much it's going to cost us in the long run. It's just like you're just going ambiguously into, you know, the decision. We decided we were going to do it, but after Pierce County backed out, I didn't go into details with them about why they decided not to do it. But after they backed out, I really, you know, began to have some concerns. And that is an official statement from their superintendent of schools that they're not doing it. They're not entertaining it. Some other things that I have, you know, I've asked about is the logistics as far as the time frame of getting kids to and from Appleton County, being that it's, you know, going to take about 35 to 40 minutes one way there, and we're on block schedule with 90-minute courses. You know, I know you mentioned maybe they'll leave in the morning and come back by during the lunchtime, something like that. So I could see that. So that would mean that we would only have possibly two blocks at first and second block that anybody would be able to take any courses. My other concern is, you know, we keep talking about making sure that we have adequate skilled labor in our community. And that being said, we were also told that one of Rayonier, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, Rayonier's one of your major concerns is electricians. Am I correct about that?
We call them E&I, instrumentation and electrical.
Right. So, you know, I just wonder, have we talked to any of our, companies within the community to find out exactly what their actual needs are? I understand about the heavy equipment, you know, over there. And as I start looking at the different different counties that were or are involved in it, you have Jeff Davis County, which they have the big wood yard there. Pierce County was going to be involved in it. They have a wood yard. You have Appleton County. They have a wood yard. You have Bacon County. I'm not positively sure if they have a wood yard or not, but all the other counties that are involved have a wood yard. And primarily at the mill, your stuff comes in already chipped up. Am I correct? And, you know, both of my sons actually drive forklifts, and they were actually trained via their company. So that's why I was asking, is there any co-op between the companies and the school systems, our school system, that's possible to be able to keep our kids here and not possibly lose them to, you know, some surrounding counties?
Only comment I'll make to that is two things. In this past 5 years or so, they've done those needs assessment type things like you're talking about.
Mhm.
Certainly, instrumentation is one of them, but by far the most needed workforce area for Wayne County, and we're just talking about Wayne County, is advanced manufacturing. Okay, no doubt, and that includes radio. And we right now have not much at the high school and not much at Coastal Pines, a little more Coastal Pines than we have here, but it's not a fluid, you know, series of courses and certificates and credentials. You know, the co-op thing, what you're gonna run into there is the majority of those employers, if you're not 18 years old, you can't step inside the building, period. Until you're 18. That severely limits you.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
You know,
Just an idea, I would say probably 75 to 80% of the E&I type personnel that come to work in Wayne County go through the local union, the apprenticeship program.
Mhm.
It's 5 years of classroom study, and it's 10,000 hours of on-the-job training. If you're wanting to explore an opportunity to form a partnership with the local unions, would certainly be a good source to just investigate, because they take in hundreds of apprentices every year. And the kids, while they're in that apprenticeship program, they get paid. They get college credits for it. And probably better than 50% of them will complete the 5 years and have, they call it a ticket, a journeyman wireman's ticket. They can go anywhere in the United States or, you know, in the Western civilized world and go to work. But that might be an opportunity to, if you wanted to explore a partnership
Mhm.
with the local union, it's Local 508 out of Savannah is the E&I. And if that's something as a board or as a system we want to explore, I can put you in contact with the right people.
That sounds pretty good, you know. So do those people generally, the kids have to go there, or would they provide somebody?
They
For us,
have
or-
the classroom training. They have a site in Brunswick that does, and they have one in Savannah. And the actual on-the-job training, they actually work for contractors throughout southeast Georgia
Mhm.
to fulfill the man hours. They have to have 5 years classroom and 10,000 hours of OJT, on-the-job training. So they learn while they get paid while they're learning. It's a really good opportunity to get a skill.
Yeah.
We have a large amount of kids that are currently in that and traveling to Savannah.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids in it right now. I didn't even think about it. I'm just piggybacking
Right.
off of your idea.
But that's why I was
That might be a
asking, yeah.
partnership to explore. There may be some they could recommend some classes that you take, you know, in high school and to get ready for that time.
I just like for us to keep our options open, you know, and do a little investigation and digging before we just send everything, you know, outside of our county. Because one of the things that is fearful to me is that we'll end up losing our coastal pines here, which was the first one. And I don't, you know, want that. I don't want that to happen because of accessibility. You know, that if that was to happen, I think it'd be detrimental to our community because, like I said, of accessibility. And, you know, so we just need a little promoting for Wayne County.
Any other questions for me? All right, then I think Mr. Aldridge has the December, January financial report.
Over on page 1, you will notice the December bank balance is $8,776,113.60. And the savings account is $7,940,861.05. The page 2, the fund balance is $18,345,764.17. Over on page 3, you will see the revenue for the month. The current month was $3,340,635.17, which brought our year-to-date revenue to $23,206,613.38. On pages 4 through 9, well, actually on page 9 of that, you will see the actual the totals here. The current month expenditures were $4,099,351.67, with the year-to-date expenditures of $18,644,730.87. On pages 10 and 11, you will see the, I think it's on page 10, it actually is the sales tax for the month of December was $342,510.60, with the year-to-date being $2,285,807.21. Always want to point out there, we always want sales tax to be 300,000 plus. That's a good number for us each month to make sure that we are receiving enough money to pay our bonds and all. So 342, that puts us right where we need to be in the month of December. On pages 12 through 14, you will see the federal funds. As you will notice there, they are in, they all have a negative balance. The reason being is we have to spend the money before they'll pay us that money back. So once we spend it, then I turn around and do a drawdown from the state to receive those federal funds. And so that's just the reporting of those coming in there. The only time that those will ever get to a somewhat normal number, I guess you would say, is there'll be zeros at June the 30th when we do the final all accruals. But until then, every month other than that, they're what we call in the negative. On page 15, you will see school food service. For the month of December, they lost $31,181.51 for the month. But they still are showing a profit year to date of $875,170.34. Over on page 16 is some more detail of the actual school food service expenditures during the month of December. And then on pages 17 through 19, you will see both general fund and some federal funds budget changes and amendments, and those are notated in red on those pages. So those were the actual changes and amendments that were done in the month of December are notated in red on those few pages. Are there any questions for the month of December? All right. For January, over on page 1, you will see the January bank balance is $5,457,175.02, and the savings account is now at $10,941,339.05. That being, the reason why that was is in the month of January, I transferred $3 million from the normal general fund account up to the savings account like we do every year. We get a little better interest rate, a little better savings account up there to have it in that account. And so we move that money up, usually always around December, January time period. And then as the bank balance comes down in the general fund, we're able to move that money back. On page 2, the fund balance is $18,370,605.76. It's still holding pretty strong, all things considered. On page 3, the current month's revenue is $3,765,538.21, with the year-to-date revenue being $26,972,151.59. On pages 4 through 9, actually on page 9 is where these totals will come from. It's just the current month's expenditures was $3,740,696.62, and the year-to-date expenditures is $22,385,427.49. Pages 10 and 11, we're back to the sales tax number. Sales tax for the month of January was $403,981.46. What I like to tell people, obviously, is when you got the sales tax in January, that was December sales tax. So Christmas money shows up in January. So that was another strong month, that actually about 100,000 more than what we would consider an average month for us. That brings our year-to-date total for sales tax to $2,689,788.67. Pages 12 through 14, that's your federal funds again. Of course, they are on the reimbursable basis, so you will see that they are, the balances in those accounts are negative. On page 15, the school food service showed a loss of $350,820.84 for the month, with their year-to-date profit still being $524,349.50. I know that may seem like a lot, seem like a very odd month for them to have lost that amount of money in the month of January. Remember back, that's finally when all those expenditures started showing up from the large change-out project that happened at both the high school and the middle schools, where they completely reconditioned and made them look extremely nice now. Those bills came in January when they were actually paid. So that loss looks out of the ordinary, but they knew they had some money in the reserve, and so they used it wisely for the projects that they wanted to accomplish. Page 16, you will see some more detail there of the school food service expenditures, not only for the month, but for the year-to-date totals that is going on in school food service in January. And then on pages 17 through 19, those are the budget amendments. As you'll see, there are none more in red for the month of January, so we didn't actually have any more amendments in the month of January for either the general fund or the federal programs. Are there any questions?
RJ, on page 10, I noticed we had spent 42% of our allotted funds for new buses. I was just wondering how many new buses would that buy? I think that.
We've only discussed scheduling buying 5 buses a year.
Okay.
We never know how much money the state's gonna send us. They can send us more than they usually send us money for maybe a bus.
So how many do we have now that are pretty much new? So within the last maybe 4 years?
15, I think.
We'll purchase the ones this year. We'll be getting ready, we'll purchase them in July.
That's already, the order's in. I don't know if they've come in or not. It's not that cycle's not a school year cycle.
Okay,
the way it runs, no, sir.
No, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Brinson, I think we kind of placed the order in the summertime, and they come in November, December, I believe. So we just got 5 buses in.
Okay.
in November or December, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, in the next few months, we're just gonna get ready to start ordering 5 more buses.
Now, it's just odd because.
Yeah. Well, how many do we have? How many buses total we have in our fleet?
About 60.
About 60 of them, give or take.
Some of, them real old buses, we're recycling those out.
Right,
We got a few more then that we really could get rid of, but you need for spare, for these real short in-town routes, if they breaks down, we got 2 blocks, we have another one
Right.
there. So there's a few more extras, but we'll be, another year or two, you'll be in good shape. That'll be about half the fleet, less than 5 years old,
right,
which is what we were shooting
right.
for. So,
Okay.
Well, we'd probably be seeing some of the old surplus and not.
Yes. yes, that is correct. More and more.
I got a question on page 3.
On page 3 of the January,
Yes,
okay?
count 1350. This may be for Dr. McDaniel and Miss Jenny. Summer school tuition totals. Do we offer scholarships or are we going ahead and looking ahead for catching up, Miss Jenny, or?
That's for paying the teachers, I would think. I don't have. Is that what's budgeted?
Well, actually, on page 3, that's revenue, so that's, I'm assuming that's where we're receiving, we would receive funds for somebody.
Yeah, that's revenue. They pay for summer school.
Yeah.
Right,
Of
Course, yes, that's revenue.
All right, that's revenue, where we would get that if a student had to sign up and take some summer school classes. That's right.
We would get that from the state?
When the individual.
No, the individual, yeah.
Okay.
how much is, a class, is it still around about 250 or something like that?
$135 is what I read.
150 per class? Well, school is free, from August to May,
Had a chance to get it for free.
yeah,
I will say this year's summer is probably going to be good. I don't know how much will be covered this summer. The
right.
plans haven't been ironed out, but we're working on that.
Motion to approve the December 2020 and January 2021 financial.
So moved.
Second,
Move in second.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Whitfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to move into executive session to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action, or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent. Also, in the notes, we need to add Dr. Kelly, who will attend executive session with us. Motion for executive session.
So move.
Move in second.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Whitfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.